Whether you like Arabica or Robusta, or even if you don't care what coffee you drink, you are screwed. And I've got some nice and earthy, dark roasted facts to support it. So the global coffee supply consists roughly of 40% Robusta and 60% Arabica, with a few rare other varieties. According to expert estimates from the University of Queensland, it's predicted that by 2050, climate change could kill off the two main coffee varieties, basically 100% of what we now drink, while also jeopardizing 60% of the world's 124 wild coffee plants. A pretty dire situation right off the bat. The main problem turns out to be that the coffee plants are too picky. Arabica wants 18 to 21 degrees Celsius, it needs rain, but then only a specific amount of rain. It wants a dry season and just a lot of. Robusta tends to be hardier, but they are both drama queens. They both like high altitudes, because there is ideal sunlight and cooler temperatures. But with climate change going on, the ideal growing zone is moving up the mountain where the temperature is still optimal. And from the nature of things, the space up the mountain is eventually gonna run out. Not to mention that when, for example, a Colombian farmer buys a plot of land on a certain spot, and the land then stops producing because it's too hot, first of all, it loses value, and second of all, the farmer then has no means of buying any other plot of land. So he's now stuck with worthless dirt. Now you might be wondering, I thought coffee was a tropical crop, how come it needs these lukewarm temperatures? Turns out that for the beans to be packed with flavor and caffeine, they need to ripen slowly. That's why if you grow beans in a bit warmer temperatures than the optimum, the quality will be subpar. The taste is gonna be bland and the caffeine won't be there. And if the environment is a lot warmer, then the plant is gonna die. There is also a misconception about Robusta that it's a very robust plant, with a temperature optimum between 22 and 30 degrees Celsius. Well, when an international team of researchers dug deeper into this a few years ago, they discovered some disturbing facts. The scientists used 10 years of field observations from 798 farms across Southeast Asia, coupled with high-resolution precipitation and temperature data. The conclusion was that the optimal growing temperature for Robusta was at or below 20.5 degrees Celsius, and that in the middle of Robusta's currently assumed optimal range, which is about 25.1 degrees Celsius, coffee yields are 50% lower compared to the optimal. That means that every increase in temperature by 1 degree Celsius means a decrease in yield by 14%. Pretty unforgiving. And keep in mind that we are now talking about 40% of all the coffee we consume. The other 60%, aka Arabica, is even worse off because it's way less hardy. And this brings me to another reason why it's better to grow coffee in colder environments. The reason is this little disease called coffee leaf rust. It's been around for quite some time now, so it has already spread to nearly all the coffee growing regions. This leaf rust slowly kills the whole plant and spreads well in warmer temperatures. And again, with climate change going on, plantations are in danger. For example, in the 1800s, it decimated the whole coffee industry in Sri Lanka, which was a British colony back then. And as I've learned while doing my research, the widespread coffee leaf rust infestation led the whole island to pivot to growing tea, which is allegedly one of the main reasons why the British drink so much of it now. And the rust is a tricky disease that coffee farmers are struggling with even as we speak. Now you might think, yeah, that sucks, but whatever, people can start drinking other beverages, so what's the deal? Well, another one of my findings was that worldwide 125 million people depend on coffee for their livelihoods. So the fact that coffee plants will stop producing will have some very real consequences for millions of people. Oh, okay, this all seems grim, but there might be one or more silver bullets. The first one is this incredibly rare coffee variety called Stenophila, which allegedly has an even better taste than Arabica, and is even more robust than Robusta. And as this guy from the Royal Botanic Gardens says, it will grow in much warmer temperatures than Arabica. So his team is now trying to grow the plant and see if it has any potential. Another silver bullet, at least for individual coffee farmers, is to establish a direct trade relationship with a roastery in the developed countries. This enables the farmer to negotiate a fair price for himself, which in turn enables him to actually take some measures against global warming on his farm, because the solutions are present, such as planting big trees across the farm to provide shade for the coffee plants. But most farmers simply can't afford it. The general consensus in the fair trade coffee industry is that people will likely buy coffee the same way they buy wine, meaning that more consumers will become aware of all the different growing regions and the different tastes, and will then seek out their favorite beans instead of drinking whatever. And exactly this will be the catalyst for empowering coffee farmers around the world. So the future looks bright. Let me know in the comments what's your favorite coffee variety. I hope you liked this video and thanks for watching.